Think about delaying the publication of the book for a year, given the additional material that clearly is coming out of this year.
Every event I go to.
I mean, and this year's not over yet.
Yeah, no, I know. That's one of the first questions. You're going to write a sequel. We didn't think of delaying it, but you know, again, if let's say we meet the Vikings in the playoffs, and let's say we win, and let's say we go to the Super Bowl. Isn't it sounding good? Let's just say, were that to happen, I would love to write a follow-up to it, because the thing is, I would need something that dramatic to justify another book, because there's so much of the material in here I couldn't sort of recycle. But sort of a corollary to your question was, my parents will attest, because I wrote the book in their house in Whitefish Bay. It got a little hair-raising over the summer because you didn't know how it was going to turn out. And I actually had to rewrite my ending 3 times. First I thought he was playing for the Vikings, and so I wrote an ending where when he comes to Lambeau, Aaron Campman intercepts him and sacks him. That was just a fantasy. And then remember, right at the start of Vikings training camp, he said, no, I'm not going to play. So I had to change the ending, and then he changed his mind 2 weeks later. So I kept having to do a rewrite. I just want to jump back to the broke-spoke thing one more time. Since you opened the door, I can tell a little story. Again, this is sort of, I guess, a PG-rated story, but inside the broke-spoke, so many people like us, Packer fans, have gone down there. They've covered the walls, the plank walls, with the names of Wisconsin people. They take out Sharpies, they pass out Sharpies inside the broke-spoke. And every little town in Wisconsin has been written on the walls in that place, including the ceiling, and people's names. And that gas station you're talking about, right down the road, Dolly's, there's a wall, a sort of crude-looking mural that was painted after the Packers won the Super Bowl in New Orleans. And that's the other place all the fans stop and they write, again, they write their names in a little Wisconsin town on the wall. So I actually, as corny as it sounds, I actually got a little choked up being down there by myself. Maybe I was a little exhausted from travel or something, but standing in front of this wall and just seeing all these Wisconsin names and towns in this place 3 miles from the Gulf, in the middle of nowhere. And it really is. I mean, we've got one gas station, we've got one bar, the Broke-Spoke, and that's about it. Maybe 3 other businesses.
Post office.
In the post office. So I was there watching Brett's Jets play the Titans when Brett was still playing well, and they won. And the next day, the Packers were playing the Saints for Monday Night Football. So the Packers fans cleared out after the game, went most of them back to New Orleans. I stayed around just to talk to some of the local people, and the bartender, Derek Peterson, was wearing Favre's high school jersey, Hancock High, crimson jersey, and all of a sudden he says to me, he's got a great southern accent, he's like, hey Phil, you ever done moonshine? And I was like, no, Derek. And he's like, come on back. So he takes me to the back in the little staff room back there. And first he pours, it's classic, like out of a movie, milk jug, clear liquid in it. He pours some onto the counter, takes out his lighter, and he ignites moonshine. And he's like, if it burns blue, that's pure shine. And then he poured us little Dixie cups, and he said something I can't repeat. It's in the book, but it's a little too R-rated. It's sort of a toast. Read the book, you adults, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So it was so Dukes of Hazzard. But this is the kind of place, the Broke-Spoke, friendliest place on earth. All the staff, and there are 5 people working that day, including the guy who cooks the gumbo, they all joined us in this tiny little back room. We all sat there doing shots of moonshine and beer for like an hour.